Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel that is Science Unlocked, and in this session we will going to continue our chapter that is soil, coming from class 7th Science NCERT textbook. So over here in this module we are going to talk about the properties of soil. Over here, the first property that we are looking into is the percolation rate of water in the soil, which talks about that how easily the water being poured on the soil will be absorbed by the soil. And for this particular property of the soil, we have a specific formula which talks about the amount of water that is absorbed by soil in milliliter in specific unit of time, that is 1 minute. So the unit of this particular property, that is the percolation rate, is also milliliter per minute, which talks about that how much amount of water is being absorbed by the soil in case of 1 minute. Or in other terms, we can say that percolation rate is basically the amount of water absorbed by soil in milliliters in 1 minute. So that is the whole concept related with the percolation rate of water. The next property that we have is the absorption of soil, also simply the absorption of water in the soil. That means how much amount of water the soil sample can hold, for which we have a specific small experiment with which we can identify this particular property, where what we have to do is we have to simply take these funnels and put them in a stand so that we can actually check them all together. Just put the cotton plug at the bottom and then the sample of soil. This sample should not be more than 50 grams, because when we talk about the absorption process, it is always measured with reference to 50 grams of soil sample. So once the sample will be added to the funnels, all we have to do is we have to take the same amount of water in the container and then we have to simply pour it through the samples. Now during this process we will going to find out that there will be certain amount of water which will be collected in the bottom container, whereas some amount will be added up here. So with the process of this particular activity or this particular experiment, we will be able to calculate the initial volume and the final volume of water that we have received, with which we can actually find out the difference in the overall water absorbed, which is generally done with the help of this formula, which talks about the initial volume, that is U, minus final volume, that is V, divided by weight of the soil that we have taken, only 50 grams, and as it is the percentage, we will going to multiply the same formula with 100. So that is how the whole concept of percentage of water absorbed is done. That means that is the second property of soil with which we can actually differentiate between the soils. The next property that we have is the moisture inside the soil, where we simply talk about the amount of water which is there in the soil, and this particular water that is there in the soil will going to ultimately keep the soil hydrated and will keep the whole requirement of the plants growing over there in check. And this is just a simple way where we can simply take the granules in the hand and we can check that what exactly is the amount of moisture inside the soil. Now the next aspect related with these soil concept is that different sets of crops are being produced in different kinds of soil. So here is a list of different set of crops and different set of plants that we can observe in different kinds of soils. Obviously over here there are certain additional factors which comes in, that is with reference to the rainfall, humidity, temperature, wind speed and such things. So these are all part of the nature and the climatic conditions, which also determines that what exactly will be the kind of vegetation we will going to find out in a specific kind of soil or a specific kind of geographic location. The first example that we have is rye, which grows in the sandy loam. Very easily it grows in the sandy loam. Next we have is different set of lentils and pulses which we can simply use in the loamy soil. Next we have is the sandy loam soil again, where we have further categorization because of the large amount of water holding capacity with which we will going to do the cultivation of cotton, potato, asparagus. Next we have is the clay soil, over where we have very nice amount of humus and the fertility is very high. It has a good water holding capacity which helps in production of these kinds of plants, that is rose, paddy, wheat and gram. So these are the different examples of crops that we have talked about in this session. Apart from this, we can list many more examples depending on the kind of requirement a particular crop will going to need. With this, we are done with the chapter and this module. So rest we will going to continue in our next session. Till then, keep learning and stay safe.